40 King, teaching by trade, working profession. I'm out here in the middle of New Amsterdam, New York, North America, and we're just enjoying the Moorish architecture. As you can see behind me, we got some arcs over here, the architecture that's embedded at the buildings over here, and there's so many buildings, man. So many buildings out here. If you just put in Google right now, like Moorish palaces or Moorish buildings, in Google Maps, you'll find actual landmarks and places that are designated as Moorish castles. Today I had a chance to go see the Seneca Village Moorish Palace that is located in Central Park, right before Harlem, right? So we had all these Moors that come into nationality and knowledge itself late in their lives, sometimes at the expense of losing their life because of an outdated and gatekept ontology, way of being. So what I wanted to get on here today and really ask was, what would you do with $1 million? That's the question. We'll wait for some more of our audience to log in here, but that's the ultimate question today. As I'm just enjoying myself, getting some live stream, getting some footage today. I see one person logged in, right? So what would you do with $1 million? That's the question for today. All right, what would you do with $1 million? Type it in the chat for me if you can. All right, or leave a comment after the video's over. All right, what would you do with $1 million? We're gonna wait for some more folks to come in. We see what's up. Right behind me, I got these beautiful arches, taxi cabs. You see the famous yellow cabs. Right? What would you do with $1 million? Go ahead, type it in the chat. What would you do if today somebody just gave you $1 million cash? What would you do with that? That's the question for today's live. What are you gonna do with $1 million? What would you do with $1 million? Put it in the chat. Leave a comment. If I had $1 million, I would what? What would you do? What would you do with $1 million? Right? What would you do with $1 million? No idea. You have no idea, right? It's a lot of money. She don't even know. Me? I'm out of here. Travel. Yeah. What would you do with $1 million? She said she has no idea. Donate it all to you. It says RAUCHO 82. So I'm gonna say Raucho 82 says donate it all to me. You don't even know me. Why would you donate $1 million to me? Answer that. Why would you do that? Because I need more friends like you in my life, to be honest with you. Right? I'm out here in New York, and I look like I need $1 million. But what would you do with your $1 million? What would you do with $1 million? Come on, man. I would travel the world. That's what I would do. You know, I was able to travel in South America for only $5,000 for 7 months in South America. Here it says, I want to live in New York too. Well, I don't live in New York. I'm just visiting, right? So I'm just here making a video for you guys to be able to manifest your dreams. One day you will live in New York, right? The whole world comes to New York. Everybody comes to New York. Every nationality. Bangladesh, India, Gujarati, Gulkunda, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Nihongo, Muromachi, Mexican, Ecuadorian, Panama, Burkina Faso, French, German, English. Everybody comes to New York. Everybody comes to New York. You'll definitely have a chance to come to New York. So with $1 million, would you come to New York and live in New York? Right? So the question is, what would you do with $1 million? If you had $1 million right now, if somebody just cash app you or they sent you Bitcoin, or they sent you Ethereum, and they just press with their thumbs right here. Boom, $1 million in your account, in your bank right now. What would you do with it? Let me know where you guys are right now. Great People 13. Great People 13, he says, I'll start a business, I'll make a business, and then we have Jersunjin, or J Her Sun Jin -R1U. I will live in New York too. Right, so let's go. Give me some comments. What do we got? What would you do with $1 million? Most people with $1 million, they come here and they spend it on entertainment. So I got Daniel Shelton, 5790 said hi. What's up, Daniel Shelton? Peace. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. What's going on, man? If you could take $5,000 and just plug it into Bitcoin, QQQ, right? Transfer it over from your debit account to a broker account, not a savings, you could possibly make $1 million in about 10, 20 years, the way that the economy is looking right now, right? The world is developing. Everything is sidetracking. They trying to make it seem like it's the end of the world. That's all bullshit. That's why we keep coming up with new technology all the time, right? New planes, new technology, right? So what would you guys do with $1 million? Tell me. I know what I would do. Daniel Shelton says, I'll go to Dubai and buy cool cars. For what? You can only drive one car at a time. Tell me a little bit more about that. Sounds like a cool idea, but you're gonna run out of your $1 million. What are you gonna do after that? Right? How are you gonna keep it going? You know, think about that. I don't just get on live stream and sell you guys out and talk about the Knicks, right? I'm actually trying to educate you guys. All right, you get $1 million, you go to Dubai, you buy cool cars, and then what? You're gonna be like these people over here, driving around in Ferraris with no wife, no kids, like this? Millions of dollars, Americans with millions of dollars, and they're miserable. What would you do with $1 million? He says, I look cool, so I want to get picked. My name is Kaham or Kahim, and I'm 10. What's up, Kahim? So what kind of car would you buy out there in Dubai? Is it gonna be the Mercedes GLE? I would buy that Mercedes GLE. It's real big, strong, metal car. That Mercedes truck is fire, right? I think there's one right there, actually. There's one right there. There's a Mercedes GLE right there. If I could buy a car, I probably would buy that one. If I had unlimited money, I'd probably buy that one right there. That shit is fire, in my opinion. I really like that car. What kind of car would you get to flash and show out in Dubai with? I really appreciate the comments. We got 4 likes. We got 2 people logged on right now. What would you do with $1 million? I know I would travel the world. The first place I would go to with $1 million is my grandparents' country. I'll go to Cuba ASAP. And I find a beautiful Afro dark-skinned wife in Cuba that knows how to cook and clean. And I'll take her with me across the entire world learning Spanish, like this. Dancing salsa all over the world. Then I can flex and make Fidel Castro look like trash. Right, that's what I would do with $1 million. What would you do with $1 million, man? You guys gotta have more imagination. Daniel Shelton, what's up, Daniel Shelton? We got great people. All right, $1 million. I'm gonna do another 30 seconds, $1 million. What would you do with $1 million? Right, I'll travel the world, find me a beautiful wife, teach her about economics, maybe go to the Philippines, you know, get some sun, teach people about mental health, and be an amazing person like I was born to be, right? I wouldn't be competing over here in New York with all these yuppies. What would you do with $1 million? We only got 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, man. All right, family, I'm your boy, Marco L. Bodie Kent with the Moors of Light. $1 million questions. You guys gotta have more imagination. Go on vacation, fall in love, do something beautiful, right? Love, true peace, freedom, and justice.